coming at you live where the gridiron grows. This is the Alexander Scoop Jones podcast. Breaking down the GFL news coming fast. From Gwinnett County, we shine that light. Ton new football, every play, every fight. It's all about the kids. Every pass, every run. We suit up on Saturday mornings, yeah, we bring that fun. So huddle up, y'all. The whistle's about to blow. Let's talk GFL and let the good times roll.
Picture this. The first week of the GFL 10U season, right?
Yep.
And you've got two top-ranked teams just locked in this absolute defensive struggle, 0-0 heading into the fourth quarter.
Seriously. No touchdowns, no field goals, nothing.
Just pure, unyielding grit. And then, boom, a single safety completely flips the script, turns an epic stalemate into a win. Now that's how you kick off a season.
Yeah, incredible start.
Okay, so let's dive deep into that. In this deep dive, we're really dissecting the Week 1 results across the 10U GFL division. We've meticulously gone through everything we could find, the game recaps, the scores, coaches' notes, key plays.
All those horses, yeah.
And our mission here is to pull out the big wins, maybe uncover some surprising upsets, and definitely spotlight the teams making these audacious statements right out of the gate.
What's truly fascinating, I think, is how much just 1 week can reveal about where a season might be heading. Our goal for you listening in is to go way beyond just the scoreboard.
Right.
We want to help you grasp not just what happened, but why these initial results matter so much, kind of connecting the dots to the bigger picture for the whole GFL 10U season.
Exactly. So whether you're a player, maybe a coach poring over film, a dedicated parent freezing on the sideline.
Or just someone who likes to know what's going on.
Right. Or just insanely curious about youth football. This deep dive is basically your express route to being really well informed. We're trying to strike that balance, between the big summaries and those memorable, impactful details and examples that genuinely stick with you.
Trying to make it feel like a real conversation, not just reading off stats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, if Week 1 offered any clue, this season is shaping up to be absolutely wild. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, kicking us off, let's talk about what we've sort of crowned our Scooptastic game of the week. This was the clash between number 5 Lawrenceville-Black Knights and the number 4 Buford-Green Wolves.
Yeah.
This wasn't just football. It felt like an old-school slugfest, a real throwback.
It really did. I mean, the story here was defense, defense, and more defense.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. Both squads, they played with an intensity that felt more like mid-season, not Week 1 jitters.
Totally.
To be scoreless heading into the fourth, especially at 10U, where sometimes scoring can be, a bit more frequent. That speaks volumes.
It really does. So what does that tell us? I mean, this early defensive strength. Is it just these two teams, or is it something bigger about the league this year?
That's the interesting question, right? Historically, in GFL 10U, when you see a league-wide defensive surge early on, it often points to really strong fundamental coaching. Emphasis on tackling, disciplined assignments.
Right, the basics done well.
Exactly. So it might suggest a league that values really robust defensive play across the board, which, down the line, could make offensive breakthroughs later in the season even more impressive.
That's a great point. So are we seeing a league-wide thing or just two amazing defenses here? And how did it finally break? Because it wasn't going to end 0-0, was it?
No, something had to give.
And that's exactly when the Black Knights defense just stepped up huge. They managed to stuff Buford deep in their own end zone for that crucial safety.
Only 2 points, but massive in that context.
Oh, absolutely. It felt like 20 points given how tight it was. It completely flipped the momentum. And then Lawrenceville, they capitalized on that shift, punched in a late touchdown, and sealed an 8-0 win.
Yeah.
This wasn't flashy, no trick plays, just pure grinding football, execution under pressure.
Buford's got to be replaying that sequence over and over. They played great defense too, but giving up the safety, then the late TD, that's a tough pill to swallow.
For sure.
But for Lawrenceville-Black,
wow, what an immense confidence builder. This kind of win, especially against another top-ranked team, it just sets such a powerful tone for their season.
tells the league something.
Exactly. It signals their resilience, their ability to execute when it really matters. These tight wins early on, they often forge a team's identity, Absolutely. Okay, so moving from that incredibly tight defensive battle, let's shift gears. Let's talk about a team that left absolutely zero room for doubt about their intentions.
Okay.
We're talking the reigning champions, #1 Grayson-Green, and their performance against Berkmar.
Ah, yes. The champs, if anyone somehow forgot who the defending champs were, well, Grayson offered a very, very swift reminder.
They really did.
They came into week 1 with that huge target on their backs, and
Right.
right from the opening kickoff, they just embraced it, played with an intensity that really set them apart.
You're absolutely right. It felt like the Rams commanded every single phase of the game. Offense, defense, special teams, everywhere.
Total domination.
Berkmar, look, they knew it would be an uphill battle walking onto that field, right? But Grayson basically turned that climb into Mount Everest.
Yeah, pretty much.
The final score, 31-0, and that wasn't just a win. It felt like an emphatic declaration. They controlled the tempo, dictated every snap, executed with this, precision you rarely see, especially in week 1.
Until somebody knocks them off, they are the standard. That's just how it is.
And right now.
And based on this performance, that standard feels miles away from most teams right now. This level of dominance, it goes beyond just points. It raises a really interesting question, right?
Yeah.
What does this do to the mental game of their competitors?
Yeah. How do other teams react?
Exactly. When opposing coaches, opposing players, see Grayson playing with that kind of surgical efficiency, does it intimidate them before they even play? Or does it maybe force them to dig deeper, dissect Grayson's strategies, and elevate their own game?
Could go either way.
Historically, dominance like this often forces other teams to innovate, maybe try more unconventional stuff just to try and challenge the champs. It pushes the whole league forward in a way.
That makes sense. Okay, shifting focus again. It really felt like the big theme, maybe the unofficial theme of week 1 was the shutout.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of them.
An extraordinary number. We saw Collins Hill, Norcross, Archer, Mountain View, North Gwinnett, and Buford-Gold, all holding their opponents completely scoreless. Pitching donuts, as they say.
It's a key observation, the sheer number of shutouts. It suggests a league-wide readiness on the defensive side. It's not just 1 or 2 teams showing up strong defensively. It's a significant trend right off the bat.
So who stood out among those shutouts?
Well, Collins Hill, for one, they genuinely impressed with their 27-deal win over Sekinger. Sources we looked at highlighted them looking exceptionally sharp, almost like mid-season form already.
Wow, week 1.
Yeah. Running well, passing effectively, just flat out controlling the field, and their defensive discipline, especially maintaining gap integrity, aggressive pursuit. It was textbook.
They weren't alone, right? Norcross Elite.
Right.
They emphatically showed they mean business. Dispatching Gainesville 33-0, that's a big number.
That's a statement. Points to a potent offense backing up that lockdown defense, too.
Then you had Archer. They made their own undeniable statement, blowing past Lawrenceville-Gold 27-0. The Tigers, based on what we're hearing, definitely want the league to know last season was just a warm-up. They're here this year.
They've arrived with something to prove, absolutely. And we cannot overlook Mountain View. Pulling off a 35-0 route over Mill Creek, that's no joke.
Mill Creek is usually tough.
Exactly. They're historically known for toughness, resilience.
Yeah.
So for Mountain View to put up those kinds of numbers, both offensively and defensively, it sends a really powerful message across the league.
So what does it all mean then, these early shutouts?
If we think about the bigger picture, it suggests defensive coordinators across the GFL Penn U did their homework in the offseason, really focused on fundamentals, scheme, and their players are executing at an incredibly high level right from week 1.
Okay, so follow-up question then. With so many defenses looking this good this early, what does this mean for the offenses trying to find their rhythm?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It feels like the bar for just scoring points, let alone winning, is going to be incredibly high this year. Teams that can't adapt quickly might really struggle.
That's precisely it. It suggests offenses need to be super disciplined, maybe innovative, definitely efficient with every possession. Against these kinds of defenses, every turnover, every missed block, every dropped pass, it gets amplified.
The margin for error shrinks.
Massively. Teams will need sophisticated run-pass options, precise timing, maybe even a bit of trickery to break through. It's a chess match that's already intense right from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, not every game was a blowout like those shutouts, right?
Yeah.
Some teams found themselves in absolute dogfights, had to scrap for every single point.
And often those are the most compelling games, the ones that really test a team's resolve.
Totally agree. The closest matchup of the entire week, I think, had to be Parkview versus Lanier.
Oh, yeah. That was tight.
The Parkview Panthers, they had to dig really deep. They just narrowly squeaked out a 19-14 win. And think about this. Parkview didn't even make the playoffs last year.
Right. Big turnaround potential.
So this isn't just a W in the column. It's a huge psychological boost. A strong start for a team that sources say is clearly preaching unfinished business.
A gritty win like that, especially early, It can shape a team's whole identity, their belief for the rest of the season. It's a statement about renewed determination.
For sure. And speaking of statements and maybe settling scores.
The rivalries.
Exactly. What's fascinating is how these past rivalries inject such intense drama right into week one. We saw that play out between Dacula and Grayson-Gold.
Right. Dacula won by 1 point last year, didn't they?
Yep. Pulled off a heart stopper last season. And you know those kinds of losses linger. They fuel motivation.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, this time, Grayson-Gold emphatically flipped the script, delivered a decisive 12-0 revenge game.
That's more than just a win. It's a statement about their growth, their adjustments, their determination to settle that score.
Exactly. These deep-seated matchups, they're what make youth sports so captivating, right?
Yeah.
Builds those enduring rivalries.
Couldn't agree more. That's the good stuff.
Okay, and then of course, everyone had their eyes glued to that highly anticipated Frst Dynasty matchup. Number 7, Brookwood, facing off against number 2, Buford-Gold.
Yeah, billed as a clash in Titans.
Expected to be a real battle between two deep contenders, and let me tell you, the outcome wasn't even close.
That might be an understatement. Buford-Gold's defense. They just arrived, ready to absolutely dominate.
How'd they do it?
Well, sources highlighted how their defensive ends were just consistently pinching, forcing Brookwood's super fast outside zone runs back inside, right into the teeth of their linebackers.
Smart scheme, disciplined execution.
Textbook. That disciplined gap assignment, aggressive pursuit, it completely neutralized Brookwood's big speed advantage. And then on offense, the Wolves just ran wild. Great balance.
Yeah.
Power, misdirection, efficient execution.
And the score reflected that.
A decisive 29-0 victory, a 4-touchdown difference in what was supposed to be a heavyweight bout. So this raises a big question, doesn't it? What does that kind of performance in that kind of high-stakes early game signal for the rest of the season?
Yeah, for both teams.
Exactly. For the winner and the loser.
Well, if you're Buford-Gold, you walk off that field feeling
Validated. Right. It's a clear message to yourselves and everyone else. Yep, we are absolutely legit contenders.
confirms all the hard work.
Totally.
Yeah.
That level of execution against a highly ranked opponent, it verifies the prep, announces their intentions loud and clear. They're aiming for the whole thing.
And conversely, if you're Brookwood, it's undeniably a tough, tough loss, one that sends you straight back to the drawing board, no question.
Big adjustments needed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of early message, it sends a clear signal across the league. There are levels to this, and they need a significant strategic reevaluation fast. It's a gut check, how they respond in week 2.
Okay.
That'll be incredibly telling about their mental strength, their coaching adaptability.
Definitely something to watch. Okay, let's try and unpack the essential insights then from this whole deep dive into GFL 10U Week 1.
We saw that defensive thriller, our game of the week, Lawrenceville-Black and Buford-Green, proving sometimes the tightest, most fundamental games are the most gripping.
Absolutely. Defense wins championships, or at least Week 1 games.
Right. Then Grayson-Green, the champs, they reminded everybody they're still the standard bearers, just an absolutely dominant performance.
Left no doubt.
And that crazy number of shutouts showed some defenses are already, playoff ready,
All right.
making life incredibly tough for offenses trying to find any rhythm at all.
And let's not forget those crucial close calls, like Parkview grinding out that win, really defining their unfinished business story.
Yeah, great narrative there.
And Grayson-Gold getting that satisfying revenge against Dacula. Those close games, those rivalries, they prove every point matters. They're already setting up fascinating storylines for the whole season.
It's true.
Look, knowledge is most valuable when you understand it and can apply it right.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you, listening, feel pretty well equipped with these initial insights into the GFL 10U after this deep dive.
Yeah, hopefully a good baseline. So here's my kind of provocative question for all of you listening. Which team really impressed you the most in week 1? And more importantly, why do you think their performance will fundamentally shape the rest of their season?
Good question.
Think about the specific statements they made, right? The strategic challenges they either overcame or maybe created for their opponents. What are the implications for their journey ahead? Was it sheer dominance or was it a gritty comeback? What does that win, or maybe even a tough loss, truly reveal about their character and their potential moving forward?
Lots to chew on there. Thanks for joining us today as we navigated this opening week of the GFL 10U season. We've really just scratched the surface of what looks like it's going to be a fantastic and incredibly competitive year.
Absolutely. Week 2 predictions, new rankings, and even deeper look into some of these emerging trends. That's all coming up next time. Trust me, you absolutely don't want to miss it. Until then, keep digging deeper.
Yo, it's your man, Alexander Scoop Jones, coming at you live where the gridiron grows. This is the Alexander Scoop Jones podcast, breaking down the GFL news coming fast. From Gwinnett County, we shine that light. Ton new football, every play, every fight, it's all about the kids. Every pass, every run, we suit up on Saturday mornings, yeah, we bring that fun. So huddle up, y'all, the whistle's about to blow. Let's talk GFL and let the good times roll.